Hello, I'm Reggie York. This is a presentation on using GraphPad for the one-sample t-test. What is illustrated here is the use of an internet website for statistical analysis of data. This is one that is free and easy to use, except there's a lot of extra words on the screen that you may not understand if you're not an experienced person with statistics. This is designed for those who do not have experience with statistics, but you want to apply a statistical test, one in particular, to the examination of your data. The example here is a set of scores for sexual stereotype regarding the traits of the good work manager. Scores on this particular test could range from a low of 0 to a high of 8, with higher scores representing a greater sexual stereotype. Scores from 0 to 3 would represent a score that favored the female stereotype, while a score above 4 would represent a male stereotype. A score of 4 would represent no sexual stereotype. It means basically people selected 4 female stereotyped traits and 4 male stereotyped traits. Therefore, they do not have a gender preference. The hypothesis is as follows. Scores for sexual stereotype will be higher than 4. Here are the initial procedures. We're going to use a website called GraphPad. You will see a set of options. You will click on the circle next to continuous data when you first get the screen. I'm going to illustrate that. And then you'll hit click. Then you'll select one sample t-test and hit continue once again. I'm currently going to go to this website right now to illustrate. I'm going to click on the GraphPad link, and this is what you get. This is the way things look on the screen. I'm going to make it bigger so you can see it a little bit better. Here we see categorical data. This is already clicked as though they expect you to use this one. That's not the one we're going to use. We're going to click on continuous data. Make that even bigger. Okay, continuous data is what we're using. The statistic we're going to be using falls into this general category. We're going to click on the word continue here, and we'll get several options. It's already clicked t-test for comparing two means. That is not what we're doing. Instead, we are doing the one sample t-test where we compare observed and expected means. We have a set of scores, and we have the value of 4 as a score that all of our scores we're going to enter will be compared to. I'm going to click on continue again, and we'll see here a screen that shows it's the one sample t-test. There are several steps, 1, 2, and 3. The first thing says enter up to 50 rows. That means we have up to 50 scores to enter, and that applies to us, so we leave that one alone. Here is where we enter our data, and I'm going to enter some hypothetical things here. 4 is the first score. 5 is the second. By the way, do not hit the enter button after hitting these. Instead, move your cursor to the box and put the score there. The next one is a 3. These are all sexual stereotype scores we got from an instrument we used, and we're entering them into the computer now. The next score is 6. The next score after that one was also 6. The next score after that was a 5. After the 5, we have a 4. Then a 7. 7 again. Remember, use your cursor to move to the box. Don't hit enter. Then we have a 6, and then an 8. If you happen to hit enter by mistake, just hit the backwards button and it should bring you back to where you need to be. So we now have 11 scores, and we go over here to step 3, which says specify the hypothetical mean value. Hopefully you will remember that that one for us is the score of 4, which represents no sex role stereotype. Scores higher represent a sex role stereotype. So we want to know, first of all, if the mean score for these data is above 4. And secondly, if it is above 4, is that value statistically significantly above 4? Now we're going to hit calculate now. At this point, we will get a set of values that represent our data. I'm going to have to make this a little bit smaller. Going the wrong way. Well, for some reasons, I'll just show it to you anyway. Whoops, hold on. Well, what we have on the first heading is p-value and statistical significance. The first thing says the two-tail p-value equals 0.0068. That is the value of p for these data. And as a matter of convenience, it says to you this difference is considered to be very statistically significant. It is much below 0.05. Under the next set of information called confidence interval, you'll see several lines of data. The critical one here is this one right here. The actual value, the actual mean is 5.55, which of course is higher than 4.0. The next set of values shows you the value of t, which you might need to report. People usually report the value of t as well as the value of p. So in this case, it's 3.4. So that gives us the information we want to have. I'm going to go over these procedures for you rather briefly. Entering your data, you'll see that there were 4 steps on the screen that we just went through. Step 1, you should leave it alone because you don't have more than 50 scores. The second step, you enter your data, which we did. We entered 11 scores. Here are the scores that we entered right here. Our final data entry procedures called upon us to indicate the hypothetical mean, which was 4. After entering that, we hit the Calculate Now button to review the results. We just went over the under the heading p-value and statistical significance. We saw that we had a p-value of 0.0177, which is less than 0.05. So statistical significance was achieved. Under the heading confidence interval, we saw the mean score, the mean sex role stereotype score of 5.27, which is higher than our threshold of 4. So we now have data on the 2 questions we must address when we are testing our hypothesis. I hope this helps you. Good luck on it.